taking a little look at Super Catboy today. What is there to say about Super Catboy? It's not great. Before you get into the game, you see the simple but inspired pixel art aesthetic that I really enjoyed. Unfortunately, once you get in, the game struggles. There are no tutorials, so I had to look in the controls menu to see what buttons I need to use for attacking and so on. For the early levels, the combat and platforming felt simple while still being fun. The simplicity helped cover up any issues with movement. Outside of the lack of precision when moving, there are also some other issues that frustrated me throughout the game. The inability to move while crouching, even if slowly. This leads to a lot of start and stop pacing on controller where you're trying to run right or left, but the controller angles down slightly and then suddenly you stop moving because you've crouched. The game also plays a sound effect that I believe is the same sound effect as when you get hit, when you jump and hit a ceiling or the floor above you. The fact that this is a repeated sound effect catches me off guard and feels inappropriate and distracting. As the game introduces more platforming mechanics, the difficulty and punishments, the lackluster control of Catboy becomes much more evident. There are a lot of areas that require precise control, and that just isn't here. This could be things like the one-off levels on the motorcycle and minecart to more persistent mechanics like ropes, saw blades, turrets, and so on. For example, trying to climb ladders and ropes. The inputs are so sensitive that it appears a slight angle on the joystick can stop you from moving as you stop pressing up directly. I switched to using primarily the directional inputs at this point. On top of that, there are a lot of areas and ways in which it can be very hard to recover from simple mistakes. This can be getting surrounded by enemies that attack high that you can't run through or jump over before they attack you, preventing you from moving. As time goes on, this went from a simple game that I can recommend as something you just play when you want to turn off your brain for a bit, to a game that I would highly recommend people avoid. The level on the airship is the worst thing I've ever been forced to play in a game. This level destroyed all goodwill the game had made up to this point. I really wanted to finish this game, but this level is so infuriating on top of the issues I'd previously had, that I had to stop playing. As much as I want a review to be, I beat this game, here are my thoughts, I think a review is warranted if you play over half the game and it just seems unplayable or enraging to play. If the controls could be cleaned up a bit, I think the game could be worth revisiting, but I just don't think that this is something that will be addressed. As far as the rest of the game, the art style and music are both very nice, the characters are cute and fun, the backgrounds are inspired and well created, the music is fun and doesn't overstay its welcome. Overall, story is okay to fun, and it is definitely serviceable for moving the game along and providing motivations. Some of the dialogue in the game is a bit off-putting to say the least. It's not terribly offensive or anything, but it just feels odd. Any narrative consistency from the woman helping you is thrown out the window in favor of making constant jokes. She goes from appearing to like Catboy and being supportive to absolutely grinding him up and then back. It's tonally very weird. At the end of the day, this is just a game that I highly advise anyone stay away from. It is currently not in a place where I think that it is playable. If you'd like to see my thoughts on any other games, whether there are new games that are coming out or old games, as I'm kind of going back and replaying games that I may have missed in the past, like Horizon and Midnight Suns, I would really appreciate if you want to subscribe, like, stay around. Thank you so much.